Okay, here we go. So front-end developer roadmap. First off, you need to learn about the internet. Learn about the internet. It's very, very important. Learn about the internet, learn how it works, learn a little bit of the history. Don't go too deep, just learn the history, just a little bit. You can go to YouTube and type, just search history of the internet, and then you get a video, watch a video on that, and you're good to go. Learn. And by the way, you need to get a pen and paper. Get a pen and paper so you can write this down, because the list is very, very long. Very, very, very long. So number one, what is the internet? Learn about the internet. Number two, how does the internet work? Learn how the internet works. Number three, learn HTTP, hypertext transfer protocol. HTTP is very important. Learn browsers, understand browsers and how they work. You can Google search, or you can just Google this or check on YouTube. Number five, I think, yeah, should be five. DNS, domain name service. Learn domain name service. Learn number six, learn domain name. Number seven, learn hosting, web hosting, very important. When you learn this thing, you don't, for this internet is like a subheading or a heading. Let's say a subheading. Then under this subheading of the internet, you learn one, how the internet works. Two, HTTP. Three, you learn browsers, learn about browsers and how they work. Four, you learn DNS and how it also works. Five, you learn domain name. You learn domain name. Six, you learn hosting. You learn about hosting. Now, the next subheading, you learn HTML. Hypertext markup language. Hypertext markup language. You learn HTML. You learn the basics. Learn the basics of HTML. You learn understand the tags, just understand the tags and how they are being used. Learn, I've shaken the camera. Learn how to use forms and validations in HTML. Learn conventions and best practices of HTML. Learn accessibility and SEO basics. Just the basics. You don't need to go deep. You do not really need to go deep. Just the basics is fine. Then move to CSS. Learn the basics of CSS. Learn how to make layouts. Learn responsive web design. Now, when learning the layout of CSS, we have the floats. We have learn CSS floats. Learn CSS positioning. Learn CSS display. CSS box model. CSS grid and CSS flexbox. Very, very important. Floats, positioning, display, box model, the CSS grid, and the CSS flexbox. After learning that, move to JavaScript. Learn JavaScript. Learn the syntax of JavaScript. Learn the basic structures of JavaScript. Learn how to use the DOM, what the DOM is and how to use the DOM and DOM manipulation. Learn how to build APIs. Learn how to learn Ajax, asynchronous JavaScript and XML. Learn ECMAScript, very important, ES6 and modular JavaScript. Now, before you move to the next before I move to the next topic to learn, the next module, build a project, at least 2 projects before you move on. When you learn HTML and CSS, build a project. Let me give you a suggestion. Build a landing page for a restaurant and then a landing page for a hotel. Yeah, just 2. Landing page for a restaurant, a landing page for a hotel, or a landing page for a shoe brand. Yeah, a landing page for a shoe brand. That is also cool. I'm just giving suggestions, but make sure you build at least 2 projects. You can build up to 5, then move to before you learn JavaScript. When you learn JavaScript, build 2 projects or 3 projects. You can build up to 5 if you have the time, but it's for your own benefit. So learn how to, after learning JavaScript and you build projects, learn how to use version control systems and version control systems. Learn how, what is Git and GitHub. Learn repo hosting services. Learn GitHub. You can learn GitLab Bitbucket, but GitHub is more popular, so I recommend GitHub. So learn the basic usage of Git. Learn, understand, and while learning JavaScript, learn. I'm sorry, my throat is really cluttered, so I have to clear my throat all the time. So understand the concepts: hoisting, event bubbling, scope, prototype, shadow DOM, and use strict in JavaScript. You have to learn that before moving to Git. Now move to Git, learn how to use Git and repo hosting services. Learn web security knowledge, just a little. You don't need to go deep on that, just learn web security knowledge. Then learn how to use package managers. Learn npm, learn yarn, WARN, npm, learn npm, how to use npm, node package manager. Learn HTTPS, at least basic knowledge of this, basic knowledge of HTTPS, content security policy, OWASP security risk, and CORS. I hope you are writing this down. Well, even if you are not writing down, you can always come back to the video anytime you want. The video is always here on YouTube. Learn now. After that, after learning how to use npm and yarn, learn CSS architecture. But currently with the modern frameworks and CSS in JS, you don't have to worry about this anymore, but it will still be a good idea if you get familiarized with BEM at least. Learn CSS processors. Like SAS. There's SAS, post CSS, and less. I recommend SAS. Learn SAS. SAS is. Now, when you do this, now start building tools. Build task runners. Learn task runners like npm scripts, webpack, and esbuild. npm script, webpack, esbuild. Learn module bundlers like, oh, I made a mistake. Learn task runners, which is npm scripts. Learn module bundlers, webpack, or esbuild. Anyone, you can pick any one of them. Learn linters and formatters, Prettier or ESLint. I used Prettier when I was still a front-end developer. I'm no longer a front-end developer. You might hear noises. This is the 1st of January 2022, so I'm making this video on New Year's Day. So that sound is gunshots and firecrackers all over, fireworks outside. But I'm making this video for you so you can be a developer and get a job this year, 2022. Or even if you watch this video, it's still everything here still applies in 2023. Now learn how to use React. Pick a framework. After learning JavaScript and building few projects, pick a framework. Learn React. Learn Redux. You can learn Vue.js, AngularJS, but React is way more popular, so I recommend you learn how to use React.js. Learn modern CSS. Learn how to use styled components, CSS modules, and styled JSX. You can learn how to use Bootstrap if you want to. It's not necessary you learn it, but sometimes Bootstrap come in very handy when you learn Bootstrap. You can learn Tailwind CSS, There are frameworks, CSS frameworks, Tailwind CSS, Chakra UI, Material UI. You can learn all of this. Now for testing your apps, you need, but before you test your apps, you need to learn how to learn the difference between unit integration and functional tests, and how to write them with the tools listed on the left. Now you need to learn how to use Jest, React testing library, Cypress, and Enzyme. You can fill all of your testing needs with just this: Jest, React testing libraries, Cypress, and Enzyme. Learn progressive web apps. Learn how to learn storage, learn WebSockets, learn service workers, learn location, notification, device orientation, payment credentials. Learn the different web APIs used in progressive web apps, PWA. I hope my accent is good enough, and if it's not, you can just say it in the comments and I'll work on my accent. Now learn how to use, for server-side rendering, SSR. Learn GraphQL, learn Apollo. For static site generators, learn Next.js, Gatsby.js. There is Nuxt. There's a whole lot more, but you can learn Next, or Gatsby. Learn how to build mobile application. For mobile applications, learn React Native or Flutter. I recommend, since you've learned React, I recommend you to use React Native. Learn how to use React Native. Now learn how to use how to build desktop applications. Learn Electron.js. Then for desktop applications, learn WebAssembly, and keep learning. Keep building projects. If you built, let's say 3 projects, or let's say 2 projects, assuming you built 2 projects with HTML and CSS, you built 3 projects with JavaScript. Now you have 5 projects in your portfolio. You've learned how to use Yarn and npm and other package managers, other code, Webpack. When you learn Webpack, build 1 more project. By the time you will learn how to build React Native, you probably would have had like 7 projects in your portfolio. Now when you learn how to use React Native, build 3 solid projects. Let me advise you on this: build Instagram clone, or Facebook clone, or Amazon clone. Instagram clone, Facebook clone, Amazon clone for the mobile apps. You can even clone TikTok, or you can take, if you are watching this video from wherever country, you can clone a very popular app in your country that is built in your country. Just clone it and use cloning with React Native, and you're good to go. Start applying for jobs. You can apply for jobs on Indeed, Lead, Turing. I won't advise you to apply for jobs on Turing, because Turing is a website for more advanced people, for higher professionals than someone who is a beginner like you, or an amateur who doesn't have much experience in coding. So it's better for you to build this project. Don't just build calculator apps or you understand, or weather apps. Those won't get you anywhere. But you can build them in the beginning for a start. Then build something meaningful, like cloning all these popular apps, or building your own app, or build a concept app. Just think of a problem you want to solve that you can solve with JavaScript, and build an app to solve that problem. Even if you don't deploy that app, just build that app and put it on your portfolio, put it on GitHub, so that when you submit it to an employer will be able to see the potential that you have and be like, oh, okay, this is you have a very nice portfolio as a junior developer. We'll put you under supervision and then train you, and this and that and that, and then from there you start making money, decent amount of money as a front-end developer. Now I'm uploading this video today is the 1st of January. I might not upload the video today because I will still have to edit the video before I upload, so it might be tomorrow, 2nd, or today, time will tell. But this is January 1st day of 2022, and as at the time of the recording of this video. So I wish you good luck, and I wish you good luck in your journey as a front-end developer. And I really hope if you have any questions, just ask in the comment below. I reply my comments. I reply every damn comment, every single comment. I reply all. So if you have any question, or I don't know, as at the time I watch this video, just whatever time you are watching the video, if you have any question, just hit me up in the comment section below and I'll be sure to reply. Or you can ask me on Twitter. I'll leave my Twitter link below. Because it's very common for people to spam you in the comments. When you ask a question in the comments, somebody will just start replying. If you feel like you want to contact me or you want to ask me a question personally, just check my Twitter link and ask your questions in my DM. I'll be sure to reply you. If it's a topic you want me to make a video about, no problem, I'll do that. I'll do just that. Thank you very much for watching this video once again, and I wish you a very good luck. I wish you sweet days ahead in your learning. Now, one more tip: JavaScript is going to be very difficult when you are learning it, but trust me, with perseverance, when you keep showing up every day, you keep putting in the work every day, you become a front-end developer. Peace.